Breastfeeding may be a natural act of nourishing our babies, but oftentimes it doesn't come naturally, especially at the start. It takes some know how, patience, and a lot of determination. How then do expecting and new moms prepare for their breastfeeding journey? What knowledge and mindset would you need to be able to breastfeed successfully? That's up for discussion on today's You the Mom episode. Our guest today is Abbie Yabot, a multi-generational mom of 5 kids, ages 28 through 6 years old. On her third pregnancy 19 years ago, she had decided to make a career shift to the breastfeeding advocacy after attending a La Leche League support group meeting in the Philippines. She went on to become a La Leche League leader herself and even a certified lactation counselor and educator, and went on to visit moms and babies in hospitals and homes and help them breastfeed on top of doing talks and classes on breastfeeding and other parenting topics. She's also now a licensed financial advisor, and she helps parents understand the full circle parenting from pregnancy, attachment parenting, breastfeeding, baby wearing, homeopathic wellness, homeschooling, and many more. We're proud to have her as part of our Mommy Mondo board of experts. Let's welcome Abbie Yabot. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of You the Mom. I'm Janice, the founder of Mommy Mundo. And today I have a very special guest. She's been my friend for many, many years. I'm not sure how many years. Okay, so maybe, I think more than 10 years. Oh my gosh, maybe 20 years.
20
maybe
years
even
for
more.
sure.
Because our daughters are already 15. Anyway, we've been friends for forever. And she's also my co-parent who actually also started in the breastfeeding advocacy decades ago, instrumental in the promotion of breastfeeding in the country. You'll hear that our story in another podcast, one of the first episodes. You'll hear the history of breastfeeding when we were with Roman Candy. But today I wanted to talk to her about breastfeeding basics. So here on You the Mom, we also want to use this platform to give you information about pregnancy, breastfeeding, baby care, things that we moms go through, especially in the early stages of motherhood. Personally, breastfeeding was one of the challenges that actually helped me or inspired me to set up Mommy Mundo. And for sure, until now, things have not changed. Breastfeeding is still one of the challenges that we go through as new moms. So today at You the Mom, it's such a treat that she said yes. She's a very busy mom, very busy entrepreneur, financial advisor, but she is really a breastfeeding advocate at heart. So let's all welcome Abbie Yabot. Hello, Abbie.
Hello. Thank you, Janice. It's always nice to have a chat with you. And of course, all the moms out here, I'm really always excited to share you about my first passion and love in parenting topics, which is breastfeeding.
Right. Breastfeeding, when you say it's our first passion and love, I think a lot of moms who breastfeed can relate to this because the bond that you create with your child is really out of this world. Like you can't really explain it unless you go through it. Which is why it's been our passion also to help other moms, especially for you, to go through the challenges that come with it. But first, I wanted to ask you, let's get to the topic right away, Abbie.
Yes. Oh.
Why should moms choose to breastfeed?
Hi, grabe. This is really something that can take me days and days to discuss kasi I'm really so, like you said, I'm really so passionate about this. And why breastfeed? Because it benefits everything. Everything, hindi lang everybody. So imagine mo, it benefits the babies, it benefits the mommies, the daddies, the environment, the society, the government, etc. Diba? Talagang that was my bihag before, was to promote breastfeeding kasi I remember I said, third world country tayo pa hindi nagbe-breastfeed. It's so highly economical. Siyempre sa dads, diba? It's so tipid talaga.
I want to give you a premise because now with all the awareness that's out there, unlike when we were starting, when we were new moms, 20 years ago, maybe the ones who are listening don't know the challenges that we went through or advocates went through because moms would actually choose to give formula because it was like an image factor. Well, especially in the provinces, right? Because of the lack of education, moms felt that, oh, it's I feel like a privileged mom pala if I give formula. So there was no information on breastfeeding. That's why now, even if a lot of moms nowadays, you kind of know already why you need to breastfeed, it's still good to talk about it. Why choose to breastfeed, right? So Abbie, maybe I should ask you because you can talk about
Yeah.
this forever.
So of
What
course,
are
I'm
your
sure
three
the
favorite
yeah.
benefits to breastfeeding?
Okay, so let's start with babies kasi I mentioned so
Yeah.
many benefactors, diba? So for babies, of course, it's built for exactly them. It's not for animals, diba? We are the
Yeah.
only species that actually allow our younglings or our babies to be fed by another species. I'm sure you've never seen a kitten breastfeed from a fox. Diba? Fox talaga, walang fox sa Pilipinas, diba? But you know what I mean? Parang it's really just built exactly in the right amount of nutrients and the right
Yeah.
ingredients, everything for their exact age, for the time of day, for whatever they're
Yes.
feeling, di ba? Kahit na nagfight
Mhm.
sila ng cold, ng fever, or whatever it is, the body of the mom will produce it highly specialized milk, right, for your infant. So it's superior in nutrition, it's superior in protection, di ba? And then of
Yeah.
course for the babies also it helps with development of the tongue, for speech, for masticating, for speaking. It gives them better facial, di ba? Better facial faces, facial, ano ba yun?
Features.
Features, ganyan, of course, di ba?
Yeah.
And talagang more than anything, like I said, it's highly economical. That benefits the entire family. For moms, we have lesser chances of getting sick kasi we're using our breasts
Yeah.
for what it was intended for, di
So let's
ba?
go to the benefits for moms, right? So we
Yeah,
started
okay.
benefits for babies, benefits for moms. I'm sure
So
the biggest selling point, I used to do this when we would do our breastfeeding talks. If you want to lose weight right after you give birth, because breastfeeding actually makes your uterus contract, right? When the baby's sucking from your breast, uterus contracts, and that makes it your body's. It's easier to get back into shape, right?
correct.
So that's one. What else, Abbie?
So you lose weight. And then my favorite, so if that's your favorite, my favorite is
Yeah.
bonding with baby. Dito lalo na sa
Yes.
Philippines, we sometimes leave the children to yayas and we are so busy as moms because we are also career
Yeah.
people. So minsan, after a while, si yaya na lang yung favorite niya. Marunong na nga siya magbisaya. Diba? Or si Lola, oh my God. And then Lola has this game of, tingnan mo nga kung makukuha mo and of course, you'll feel so bad. But when you're
Oh.
breastfeeding, kahit pa iwanan mo yan ng 2 weeks, when they see you, oh my God, it's really number one si mommy. Kasi the milk is there with you, di ba? And then, yan, yung health talaga is really important. We want to live as long as we can. The chances of us getting all forms of cancer, of course, most especially
Yeah.
breast cancer, is like almost nil. Sabi ko nga, ang tagal pa ng buhay ko kasi wala eh. All my bodily fluids, my body's working in perfect harmony, no, to produce the best milk for my
Yeah.
child. Yan.
Okay. So, and then you mentioned environment. So, what are the benefits to the environment?
Siyempre, there's less factories na we need, no? So, there's less
Yeah.
pollution. There's also less waste because we don't need tin cans, di ba? And parang ano eh, it's really
Yeah.
everything kasi wala na eh. Wala nang bottles, wala nang teats. Everything is direct. You don't have to use dishwashing liquid to wash. You don't need to boil water, di ba? Electricity-wise and gas-wise. Parang that. And then, of course, it alleviates poverty because nga you have healthier children who don't get sick. No sickness, no need to buy medicines. No buying medicines means you don't
That's
need
true.
utang. You can
That's
convert your
true.
funds into healthier foods, 'di ba? And
Yeah.
college educational funds and whatever you need, 'di ba? Parang so imagine you being, of course, you also have smarter children, which will lead to better economists, better
Yeah.
politicians, 'di ba? In the future kasi they
Better
also have
world, no?
emotional quotients, they are more empathic, 'di ba? Parang sabi nga
So,
ng lola ko,
breastfeeding. I go ahead.
sabi ng lola ko, 'di ba, gatas ng tao para makatao sila kasi kung hindi daw asal hayop daw.
Ah,
But you know, I'm sure they're just saying that out of, I mean, not to judge anybody. It's just really a saying that she said. But it really encompasses a lot of things when we decide to breastfeed like seriously. Kasi it's easier. Ay,
Yeah.
sorry, I forgot to say that. But can I just say, ang
Go
favorite ko
ahead.
pala is that it's so
You're allowed a
easy.
fourth.
Fourth and oh
It's
my
so
God, I can
easy.
really go on and on. Ang dali eh, we travel, there is no crying baby. All you have to do is put the baby to the breast. There's nothing much to pack, not much to prepare.
Yeah, I remember Monica and Denise of Indigo Baby. They used to have a nappy clutch. It was this
Yeah,
tiny. It would only
yeah,
have a diaper and wipes because when you're breastfeeding, that's all you need to bring, or maybe a onesie in there, right? But if
absolutely.
you had to bring bottles and stuff, then you need your backpack, right, or a baby bag. But the breastfeeding mom would just have a sling, the baby, nappy clutch with a diaper, one diaper. Of course, if it's a short pashal,
Yeah.
wipes,
Usually in the car. Oh,
onesie,
yeah.
right? So easier is also adaptable in sleep, right? I remember
Correct.
um, I would just put up my shirt when the baby's crying at night. Put up your
Yeah.
shirt and you can sleep while you're nursing the baby, and eventually your baby will fall asleep with you.
Correct.
So, but let's qualify the
Mhm.
easy term.
Mhm.
Remember when we were new moms, or when we are new moms, we see that picture of a nursing mom, so peaceful and calm, and you think it's natural, right? I don't know if you agree with me, Abs, but I would always say when I do talks then to new parents or expecting parents, that to just put it in their mind that it's a natural thing that to breastfeed, but it does not come naturally in the beginning. It takes information. You have to know how to latch and everything. It takes commitment. So, what is your experience with it being easy? Like, how do you actually make it easy for moms? What are the things that moms need to know in those early weeks of uh, breastfeeding? Like when they just gave birth, I think it's up to 6 to 8 weeks, right? That they have to like
Yes.
be committed, don't give up, like breastfeeding mode on, and just try to learn the rudiments of the whole practice, and then eventually it becomes easy. So in
Correct.
your experience, Abs, what are those tips in the early weeks that you'd like to share, that they should
Yes.
know, that mom should know about?
Yeah, I think my first tip is really yon, to really expect, of course, kasi we see all of these really nice photos. Eh, alam naman, pakita sila ng talagang nakasimangot. But
True.
yeah, in all my breastfeeding talks and classes, of course, there is an adjustment period. I mean, from
Yeah.
a routine where there was no child screaming at the top of their lungs at 3 o'clock in the morning, which is usually the hardest. By the way, moms, if you have a newborn now and you're waking up at 3, you are not alone. My phone is
Yes.
always open and on demand at 3 to 5, because that's when most moms like really just, I just had it, I can't do this anymore, and all they need is just like a
Yeah.
friendly text. Now you can still do this, it will be over soon. And the first
Yeah.
6 weeks, of course, it's adjustment period. So of course, to prepare, the best is always to prepare for it, na you are well aware that you expect that the child will be feeding anytime between every 2 hours to as often as every 30 minutes, and that's normal. What you see in the books, and other moms, can just be one out of so many possibilities. So I've had a child who, I have a mom who I counseled, and she was literally breastfeeding on top of each other, like 30 minutes
Mm.
apart, pero 20
Yeah.
minutes feeding. So technically 10 minutes break, diba, each. So
Yeah.
parang, and I would tell her, it will not last forever. You just have to
Yeah.
give it to this, because that's what the child needs at that exact time. I've
Yes.
also had a child that every 6 hours, di ba, yung talagang, wow, nakakatulog ako, there's something wrong with this child, and then you start waking up, trying to wake, and moms, we stress
Yeah.
with the most mundane things, whether it's on the high side or the low side. And so,
Yeah.
my second tip is
You're
not to
worried either or.
yeah, can we just like go with the, like you said, go with the
Yeah.
flow. Pagka nakita mong ma-mouth siyang ganyan, pasok mo siya sa breast. Pagka nire-reject ka niya, that doesn't mean pangit lasa ng milk mo or wala kang gatas. Ayaw niyang mag-breastfeed. Maybe gusto lang niya to be held or
Yeah.
something else. And just really to play it by ear. You are the best mom for your child.
Yeah.
Me and Janice and all the other moms will share our experiences. But in the end, you are the one that decides what works for you. So yes, arm
Yeah.
yourself with information, and then
Yes.
listen to your gut, like
Mom
really listen.
tuition, remember? Mom intuition.
Yes, mommy intuition. And then third, yan, you always remember that if it's if you're at your hardest, 'di ba? It
Yeah.
will be over soon. Lahat ng bagay talaga may katapusan. Walang forever sa hardship. And of course, nothing easy comes nothing good comes easy.
Yeah. No
So
pain, no gain, right?
parang for me, yeah, parang sa umpisa mahirap, pero once you get the hang of it, like you said, in
Yeah.
6 to 8 weeks, my gosh, you're just gonna turn to your left side and they find it on their own. Then imagine kung mahirap ang breastfeeding. And can I just say this, Janice? My
Yeah.
daughter, my youngest daughter, and I'm 45, 46 guys, 46 na pala ako, di ba? And my youngest daughter is 6 years old. And she turned 6 in August. So literally she's like 6 years and 6 months or going 7 months. And
Yeah.
she's still breastfeeding. So imagine kung masakit mag-breastfeed at saka pahirap. Wow, I'm so sadistic naman. Ano ba yun? Masochistic pala, di ba? Parang
Yeah.
nagpapakahirap ako. Because, guys, it really does become easier. And there are more, now
Yeah.
the benefits outweigh all of the hardships.
Abby, what are
Yes.
the usual challenges in the early weeks? So I assume latch, no? So latching properly is really important. Like
Yes.
the tummy of the baby should be facing your body.
Tummy to
But I
tummy,
mean, that's
right?
really the simplest way to put it. Kasi
Correct.
sometimes you kala mo it's a carry hold lang, but actually the baby has to actually be facing you so
Mm-mm.
that she has a full latch. You can go to Mommy Mundo Learns for technical stuff, or Abby's breastfeeding talks with us on baby love. But right now we want to talk about the challenges. So first is the latch,
Yes.
latching properly. Like
Mm-mm.
what can a mom do to know that she's
The latch
latching
is
properly? Or how does she know that she's not?
So, 'di ba latch, tummy to tummy, that's the easiest. Do not forget that. Talagang triple T's, tummy to tummy lang talaga. When
Yeah.
it's tummy to tummy, you know that it's correct kasi the ear, the shoulder, and the hip are in one straight line. Like now, like you're standing up.
Yes.
So the common mistake is when the head is turned towards one side, which is normal. Kasi the way you hold your baby, the tummy is facing
Yeah.
up. And then the routine, they'll naturally do like this and like try to crane their heads, and that will cause, so the next challenge is pain. 'Di ba? Pain
Yes.
at the breast, pain at the back. So dalawa yan. So actually pain at the breast can also be cause of bad latch. So you know that it's bad latch also when it's continuously painful. So yung sa umpisa tapos it's decreasing. So I always tell the moms, rate it from 0 to 10. If it's 11 in the beginning and then it becomes a 9 and a 7 and a 5, then that's okay. But if it's 11 constantly for 3 minutes, you have to check there's something wrong. So now we check on lips. Lip should be like this, cheek should be outwards, diba? There should be movement here, movement here. So parang technical na siya.
Movement here
Kaso
in the
yun lang.
neck and movement here in
The movement in the, diba when we swallow,
yes, when you swallow the
it's all
ear
even us. Yeah.
or in the
So,
swallowing
and then
look.
and
Yeah.
swallowing and gulping, diba? Kasi that's
Yes,
important.
yes.
So you know that the baby's doing that. Now, in terms of the mom's pain, kasi if you're not also
Yeah.
positioned correctly, you can't strain your shoulder this way. So you have to have proper
That's right.
patungan or
Posture.
pillow. Your
Yeah, the
back.
pillow.
You should
Yeah.
have good support with your back. Don't breastfeed nang naka-forward ka. You will
Yeah.
still produce milk,
So
but
that
you know,
causes
it
the
will not
back
last.
pain.
Yeah, you will not last. And of course, when you're in pain, you also produce less. Kasi
Yeah.
your body contracts the milk, parang it has inhibitors. So parang actually those two are really the most na eh. Kasi wrong latch will also lead to low supply. Diba? So parang latch
Yes.
lang talaga. Position
Okay,
and latch
what
lang
about
talaga.
the um mental current mental situation of the mom? Because I remember sometimes it's psychological, right? You're so worried about producing milk, your body's not making milk. So it's like what you're saying na if inhibitor yung back, masakit yung back or wrong posture. But sometimes we're also so paranoid because of what we've read, what we see online or other moms, or we're just really anxious about maybe other things like if you have a lot of problems, you're feeling sad about if you're pumping from work and you feel sad about leaving the baby. Diba sometimes nga they say put the baby's picture in front of you.
Yes, or a recorded voice message. I mean, cooing of the baby
Yeah,
that has
because it will signal our brain to like, hey, this
correct,
love, it's all love, right?
right.
So do you see that happening often that it's the psychological
It
of the
is.
mom, the state.
Yes. In fact, parang one of my most favorite slides in my presentation is that particularly 99% of breastfeeding is psychological, and it's really just 1% body work. It's really so natural. It's as natural as breathing. Even if you're sedated, you could still breastfeed. Even
Yeah.
if you are sick, you could still breastfeed. Pero mentally, you'd have to be prepared lang talaga that, you'll have to think, di ba? I always say, think Peter Pan, think happy thoughts, no? Think
Yes.
waterfalls, Niagara Falls of
I
milk,
love
di
that.
ba? Because you're there in Canada. Ganun kadami yung milk mo, and that you are a good mom, and that you are doing what's best for your child. Anything that you feel negative, whether you're angry, in pain, or in doubt, that contracts your milk. And parang the easiest way to explain it is
Mm,
like your electricity at home, di ba? Di ba you switch on and off the lights? And when you turn off the light, it doesn't mean that there's no electricity. It just means that you just cut the
yeah.
flow. And so, see, if you
Right.
think of these negative emotions, you're cutting the flow, it's stopping. But it's all just there inside, diba? So when
Yeah.
you're tired, diba, you hear this from the moms of yung mga older generations than us na when you're tired, don't breastfeed, you're gonna pass on the
Yeah.
tiredness or the anger. And then you see, oh nga no, kasi the baby keeps crying. But you see the baby's crying because wala siyang
Yeah.
makuha. Diba? So,
That's
and it's
true.
easy remedy. Just drink a glass of water and just like really take a deep
Yeah.
breath and maybe slowly count from 10 to 1 and just psych yourself up. Hey, I'm here with the baby. Things are gonna get better.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day.
Oh, I
Diba?
love
So,
that advice. So, connected to that, Abs, about drinking water. So maybe we can you share a bit about intake? So galactagogues, diba? So we wanna remember Paula Lut of Mommy Treats and Mega Malunggay, all these malunggay supplements, or even our favorite tinola and halaan.
right.
Um, do you really suggest, do those things really help?
All everything that we do for
Yeah.
our health will affect how much milk we produce and our overall confidence, no?
Yeah.
Every now and then, if you wanna cheat, like say, sabihin mo, sige na nga, I give it to you, gusto mo mag-milk tea, wag naman every day, or gusto mo
Yeah.
mag-chips, kasi sometimes you also release endorphins that way. But you see, breastfeeding supply is really so dependent on the level of health that you're at. And obviously, if you're looking at that, I'm not telling that you should be vegetarian, but the more green leafy vegetables that you eat, the more milk you
Mm,
produce because your body's perfectly working in the same way that, like, say, why do they say eat halaan soup or stuff like
yeah.
that? Kasi walang hormones yun eh. So hard to inject hormones in shells. Come on, di ba? So parang anything that
Mm,
is farmed, anything that is a natural process, syempre, that decreases our health. So everything that increases
yeah.
health in our body, soups, because you need lots of
Soups.
liquids, diba? Like you mentioned, water intake. We usually just drink 6 to 8 glasses of water in a day. If you can increase that to 10 to 12, that's what we need. Because we need
Right.
liquids. We don't need milk to produce milk, but
That's
we don't
right.
need milk tea to produce milk. But yeah, we need
Yes.
water. Really, water lang talaga, and soup. Lots
Yeah.
of collagenous soup helps. And lutong
Mm,
bahay will always work. If you have one or two like fast food, that's fine. But just be
yeah.
mindful of being healthy
So
as
you
well.
don't need to deprive yourself. That's what you're saying, right? So
Correct.
once in a
Yeah.
while treat.
You
Um,
deserve it, moms. Come on, give yourselves
yeah,
pat on the
that's
back, give
true.
yourself some break also.
Yeah. Okay, so that's galactagogues. So how one last question before I go to the next topic.
Yeah.
How about moms who say that they don't have, this is a question always that I get. Moms who just say I'm not producing milk, or I can't produce milk. Is that really a valid, because honestly, I know moms talaga, they've tried everything, but they're just not making enough. Is that really, like, tell me as an expert,
Is it valid or not,
is it
right?
valid or
Okay, so
not?
I
Yeah.
have to just really be scientific about this. I'm
Yeah.
not going to mention scientific terms, but of course, if
Sure.
you're, for example, you've had breast augmentation and reduction and the milk ducts were
Yeah.
cut, syempre, hindi talaga tayo makaka-breastfeed. Obviously,
Yeah.
there's no milk ducts, walang daluyan. If, say, for example, you're gravely ill or sick and dying, gravely ill ha, hindi fever ha, hindi asthma, gravely ill, your body can't support breastfeeding anymore. Hindi na nga nagpa-function yung body mo eh, 'di ba? But
Yes.
other than that, it's really all mind work. It's
Mm.
probably natatalo ka ng utak mo na you can't produce milk, ergo your body produces all the inhibitors and then now it doesn't
Okay.
flow. And the more that it doesn't flow, then the more that it contracts the milk and then eventually you just run out. So for those
Yeah.
moms who say that, parang yes, I respect whatever
Yeah.
your experience it. But maybe next time, let's give it another shot. Call Janice, call me, or
Yeah.
call anybody that you think has been successful with breastfeeding. And maybe let's give it a shot. Kasi I have never met any mom talaga in my entire
Yeah.
18 years of doing counseling work that had no
Who
milk.
could not?
For
What can
sure,
you
there will
share
be
a
moms
case? Can you share a
do
case
not
that was
prefer.
really yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
do not prefer to breastfeed. They want to bottle feed, and we'll still work
Yeah.
with you on that one. Whatever will
Yeah.
work, we will work on. Pero yung talagang absolutely no milk, I have not encountered anybody like that.
Yeah. So I want to bring that up, no? Parang we're not here, parang black and white. Like if try your best to breastfeed, we respect your choice. I mean, it's as you said, it's you're the mom, you know what you can do, you know your capacity, you know what you want for your baby, and go for that. But if you really want to breastfeed, then this is why we have this talk, because
Correct.
there's support that's available. So Abs, can you share any challenging cases that you've had? Because Abby does one-on-one counseling as well. You used to do home counseling, I remember.
To do, yeah, but we are very
Yeah.
careful with
And
protocol,
how, okay.
COVID protocol at this
Maybe soon pwede na, no?
yeah, baka mas open. So ngayon, ano
Mm.
lang, I just choose yung talagang I really have to go. Kasi there are cases where I cannot help via Zoom. It's very difficult to explain.
Ah,
You tilt the heads of the baby
yeah.
maybe 10 degrees more or something like that.
What
Mahirap
what
siya.
what's like one challenging case na the mom thought na talagang none, but then you're able to get her through?
Can I share 2 or 3, top 2? Or parang ang dami kasi,
Yeah.
di ba? Of
Siyempre
course, the
18
most
years, no?
challenging would be hindi sila nag-start with breastfeeding and then wala nang gatas and then we
So
have to
relactate.
yeah, we have to resume breastfeeding kasi either allergic siya sa lahat ng gatas. Of course, the child's health is at stake, no?
Yeah.
And so we have to, yeah, you said relactate. So moms can relactate anytime. It's just that below the 4th month, it is a little bit easier. No?
Oh,
And of course, hindi ko na kwento how we resolve that, pero pwede kasi supply and demand to eh. So that brings me to
yes.
my next most memorable case, which is adoptive moms. Adoptive moms who did
Yeah, I
not
love that.
even become
Yeah.
pregnant and
Did
produce
you have a
milk.
case na adoptive mom?
I had 4 when I was starting out, and then after that madami na kasi parang I lost
Amazing.
track na, parang I just remember the first 4 kasi I always would bring them up in class, no, just as a form of testimony that it really works, no, na as
Yeah.
long as we have our hormones. Sabi na paano pag menopausal na, ayun na hormones nga eh. So it's a little bit harder, but which brings me to my next case, which is young lola nga 37 years old.
Really?
Nag-date nga siya eh, 'di ba? So the
Wow.
the child was still going to college, and when the daughter, who was the mom of the baby, returned to college, ayaw uminom sa bote. So the lola instinctively, even without my advice, she just put the baby to the breast, and the baby quieted down for a while. Of course iiyak yun after a while, so she called me and I said just put droppers of milk on the top to let it trickle down. I
Yes.
saw her like for 4 weeks after that she was producing milk. So Lola Emma,
Amazing.
imagine, 'di ba? Parang yeah,
Our
and
bodies are amazing. God created us
yeah,
for that. That is
yeah,
amazing. I love those stories. Like I would make those the top 3 stories too if I were you.
exactly. Parang
And
ang hirap to choose
yeah.
just one, 'di ba? Parang it's so amazing
Yeah.
talaga
But
what
that's really proof
God.
that it can be done. So just with commitment, like anything, it's all in the mind and commitment, right? So and help. I mean, help is crucial. So Abs, you need to share how they can reach you if ever. When I was starting, I had to email a counselor from the States, from La Leche, and wait the
Correct.
next day because there was nothing. Well, they're doctors, of course, but then who will you email
Nothing
at?
has trained us now. It's different eh. I mean, I think we are I think it's good and bad at the same time kasi sometimes over
Yeah.
information is also tough to handle. Pero
Yes.
before kasi like Janice said, because Janice also has bigger kids eh. Diba?
Yes.
So ako, I have a 28 and a 26, believe it or not guys. No? So yung 28 ko at 6 para mag-ama sila. Pero I did have help I did not breastfeed for a long time for my first two children. I can't bring back time anymore. So, yung third
Yeah.
child ko talagang kinareer ko talaga yan. And he's turning 18. That's why I've been in this industry for the past 19 years. Kasi
Yeah.
that started when I was pregnant, diba? And so parang I feel that it's really important to have a lot of support. So, uso na ngayon yung ini-interview mo yung pedia mo and your OB. Just have a
Yeah.
feel if you're really gonna hit it off.
Right.
Kasi ang hirap na hindi mo kasundo yung
Shared values,
medical
no? Shared
professionals.
values.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mahirap sabihin na turn a blind eye kasi they're the medical professionals. We have to listen to them. And I'm also trained to like parang submit to whatever the pedia will say. They will work
Yeah.
with that kasi that's ethically
It's
correct also.
ethical. Yeah.
Yeah. So me, you can get in touch with me via IG, via FB. I'm sure Janice has my numbers on
Yeah.
hand.
Let's mention
I
it. So
yeah,
your
so
IG is at Abbie Yabot, right?
yeah, that's ABBIEVYABOT. Ayan, parang hindi
Yes,
ko
correct.
napapalitan para it's easy to remember. My Facebook is just Abbie Vanida, but it's just really the same. And
Yeah.
you can connect with me there. I usually respond
Yeah.
very fast. Telegram,
Yes.
Instagram, Telegram,
WhatsApp.
Viber, WhatsApp, iMessage.
Yeah.
Of course, doon, mas mabagal. Ang dami kasi. But I will respond to you for sure, lalo na if you tell me that you have a breastfeeding newborn concern kasi that is
Yeah.
absolutely important to
And
me.
it's true, I get messages also from moms at, di ba, midnight tayo, parang, okay, everyone's awake at this time. It's our me time and time to, when the new moms are actually nursing and burping, changing nappies at the time. So don't hesitate to reach out. You can also message on Mommy Mundo. If you need to connect with Abbie, we'll refer her to you. Okay,
Yeah.
so anything else you want to share, Abs? Breastfeeding for our moms who are actually pregnant, giving birth, and raising newborns, caring for newborns during these very different times.
Correct. Yeah, so breastfeeding is most specifically and specially important at this point in our lives where we're trying to really beat the pandemic because us as moms, we are able to pass on and produce whatever antibodies the babies need at exactly that time. So that is precisely the reason why even at 6.5, I am not stopping breastfeeding unless she's the one who tells me to stop. Because whatever, if you get your vax or if ever you eat healthy fruits and veggies, if you had your dose of sunlight, they get it as well. So they get that much protection. So if you are pregnant, please make sure that you inform yourself well. Kung if public classes don't work for you, book a one-on-one class with me or with any of the professionals in lactation. Make sure to connect with a mom that is successful in breastfeeding. If you're breastfeeding and you have a newborn and it's super duper challenging, a support system would help. Again, you can message me. I will answer your questions as truthfully and as extensively as I can. If I need a call, I'll let you know. If I need a consult, I'll also let you know. Because I can't go to all the moms right now. So sometimes a phone consult or an email consult or a text consult will do. If you are breastfeeding an over 6-month-old, hats off to you, mom. Saludo ako sa inyo. Please continue to breastfeed until the child wants it. We continuously give the antibodies to your children. Breast milk is the most and the most nutritious food until proven until 2 years old. Of course, from 1 to 2 years old, we would want to supplement that. Supplement yung solids, ano? Kasi after 2 years old,
Yeah.
supplement naman yung breastfeeding. So it's equally important in every step of the way. So just hang in there, moms. Marami tayong nakaka-experience ng ups and downs and lefts
Yeah.
and rights of breastfeeding.
Thank you, Abby. That's
Thank you
so
so
much
much.
encouraging words for our moms who might be undergoing challenges now or a bit fearful of what's to come. But just remember, there's always support, whether it be Mommy Mundo or our experts like Abby, who's been really so passionate. I mean, Abby, I salute you for everything you've done for the advocacy. We've started a long way. Some of those who were with us are no longer active, but they're still breastfeeding advocates at heart. But you're the one who's really still being there for our moms today. So hats off to you and thank you for everything you've done for the
Thank you,
community.
Janice, for this platform and for the opportunity to always work with you.
Yeah,
And that more than this, talaga, the friendship has really gone so far, so long, even across the globe. And I'm very much appreciative of that as well. So I look forward to moms also connecting with us, no, and
yes,
meeting new friends. We always like new friends. We need mom support and mom empowerment always, diba? So
always.
let's not disregard that, and take care of ourselves as well. Self love, pat on the back,
Yes,
moms.
self hug. So, with that, thank you again, Abby. We'll see you again next time. We'll see you in our Baby Love series. And if you haven't checked out our Learns platform, learn.mommymundo.com, Abby will have her programs there as well. So you can access it on demand. Or she also has her own talks. And again, you can message her if you really need help and information and answers to your questions. Okay. So thank you for being with us here on You the Mom. Keep in touch and stay tuned for our next episode. Thank you again, Abby.
Thank you too. Thank you, Janice. Always a pleasure to talk with you.
Okay, bye everyone.